Good afternoon to everybody. It's Alfonso Seville back with my YouTube channel called The Truth. In episode 9, we're going to be dealing with and talking about the MICA shelter, unhoused men, the guys with the mental illness inside the MICA shelters. Um, as being a guy that was in a mental institution for 7 years, from 2015 to 6 years, from 2015 to 2021. Um, I want to take a lot. I want to take a lot of responsibility for all the negativity that the unhoused community been causing out in the general public. Now, I'm be honest. Some of these guys with the mental illness, they they know what they doing and they know how far they can go. They know how to use their mental illness to their advantage. But also, some of these guys is in denial and they're blaming everybody but themselves. Some of the guys with the mental illness, they don't have nowhere to go, so jail, them going to jail is not a problem. Some of the guys with the mental illness is also illegal immigrants, which is hard for them to get apartments. Some of the guys with the mental illness inside the MICA shelters are sex offenders. So again, they really don't care if they living inside or outside. So that's four groups of people with mental illness, single guys with mental illness that really, one group is hard for them, they care, but it's hard for them. And the other three groups, they really don't care. They really don't care how they live their life. They really don't care about people in the general public. They're comfortable inside the shelters. And we have a lot of them, amongst us. That I'm not gonna deny. And even being in the shelter, dealing with them guys for 6 years, being around them type of guys, it's how they live their life. That was on them, but they know, you show me respect, I show you respect. That's it. But you have them guys that's in there, you have them guys that don't want to take responsibility that they put themselves in that position of being unhoused. You got some of the guys coming home from jail, mental institution that's institutionalized from being incarcerated. So when you put them in a unhoused setting right away, or their mentality is still jail mentality. That's why it be a lot of violence and cuttings inside the jail. And a lot of guys that come home from jail that's sent to the shelters go right back in. You have a lot of that, man. You have a lot of negative unhoused men with mental illness. We have that amongst us. Yes, we do. Um, and these guys, like I said, man, no matter where I'm at, I'm always a reflection of the unhoused community, and the community is always a reflection of me. And I don't agree with that. I don't support them type of, guys with the mental illness. Like I said, I know who they are. They know me, so they probably keep far away from me. And they just don't care, man. And it makes it bad for people like myself and the other unhoused that's out here trying to do the right thing and go by the right rules and get housed. So yes, we do have a lot of the negative one out here, man. Me, man. I don't care. Right is right, wrong is wrong. If they commit a crime, prosecute them to the fullest, man. That's it. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, They don't mind going to jail. That's why they do what they do. So give them the book. Leave it up to me. Um, yeah, so that's that. Dealing with the negativity of the guys with the mental illness. Now, as far as the mayor removing people off the subway, the homeless off the subway, I don't agree with the plan, but I respect it. Again, the general public safety on MTA is more important to me than the unhoused community on the subway. But again, nobody want to point their finger to the real problem, which is DHS and permanent housing. If if it was more professional, safe, caring, compassionate inside the shelters, the guys and the ladies wouldn't have to live on the street or the trains. If the landlords was accepting our vouchers and the process to get housing was faster, then and the guys know that, then they won't have no problem with laying up in the shelter for a year, waiting for their housing, because they know it's gonna come. But really, y'all really is forcing them off the trains. Like I said, I don't agree with it, but I respect it. Y'all really forcing them off the train, and I know for a fact that y'all forcing them because they don't want to go inside the shelters. So basically, y'all forcing them off the trains into the streets, or they back and forth on the trains, and it's gonna be like a cat and mouse game, man, or y'all gonna lock them up. But again, I don't like it, but I respect it because the general public safety is more important than housing to the unhoused on the train than me. But at the same time, you taking them off the train, you're not giving them nowhere to go. You're forcing them into a shelter that they don't want to be in. You're forcing them into a place that they've been in already. They know what's inside waiting for them. They don't want to deal with that. Again, that's why they're on the train. So basically, to turn a bad situation good, the mayor is forcing them off the train. So we have to talk to the mayor or put a little press on the mayor to change the conditions inside the shelters and find a way to get the landlords to accept these vouchers. And again, and on that note, to the workers inside the shelters, y'all be with these guys for a year, 2 years. Y'all know how people is living from the way they carry themselves in the shelter. Y'all know who's y'all know who's gonna be able to maintain the apartment once they get it from being inside the shelters. I'm saying them other people that y'all should put at the front of the line to receive apartments so it can have a better outcome. So when the landlords see that the people that's already in the apartment see how they living, it might give them more respect the respect the other unhoused people vouchers. And those that's struggling inside the shelter and you see that it's gonna be struggling to maintain their bills, maintain their apartment, y'all should have some type of apartment workshop or something that these guys could take up. That where they could go to the class inside the shelter and have somebody teach them and prepare them about when they do get their apartment, what it's gonna take and what they're gonna have to do to maintain and to keep their apartment. Because the whole thing is about keeping your apartment, not returning back to the shelter. And a lot of these guys don't do that. A lot of these guys return right back to the shelter. But again, that's on the people in the shelter selecting, who get apartments and who don't. Like I said, everybody's entitled to an apartment. You should just, cause y'all see these guys. Like I say, y'all be with them y'all be with them for years. So y'all know who can maintain an apartment and maintain their bills. Them the people y'all should put in the front of the line, man, to get their apartment, so it can set a better example for the landlords to see, so it make it easier for them to accept their vouchers. Um, yeah, and those that struggling inside the shelter, those are the guys that y'all should start a little workshop inside the shelter. Preparing you for your apartment, preparing you for housing. And then whoever come to that class, then you'll see right there who's serious about learning and getting an apartment, maintaining an apartment, man. Like I said, a lot of these guys is comfortable inside the shelter, man. We're not knocking the way they live their life, but y'all, the workers inside the shelters, then that's on y'all to make the right judgment and decision on who should be the first to get their apartment and who might need a little training, and might a little training before they get their apartment. So it'll just be a better outcome for the guys that's trying to get into housing as the landlord turning their vouchers away. So that's basically it. Episode 9 of This the Truth, dealing with the mental health MICA shelter, single adult, unhoused clients. And thank y'all for everything. Thank y'all for all the support. Make y'all subscribe, like the YouTube channel. We got more to come. Working on a lot of things to get out here in NYC to help the unhoused community. And thank y'all for y'all support. Salute, love all of y'all. Enjoy y'all day.